Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel Diamonds and Washi. This is Katie, and if you're new here, hi, welcome, and if you are back, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Today I am going to be sharing with you all a post review of the kit Diana from Treasure Studios Art. This piece is legally licensed from the artist Maria Abaniel. She has really vibrant and just gorgeous artwork. I had my eye on this piece on Treasure Studios Art's website for a while and finally decided to pick it up as I am continuing to work on trying out the many different companies that offer legally licensed artwork. So just to give you some quick info about this kit, this is 60 by 70 centimeters. If you're not familiar with Treasure Studios Art, you can get most, if not all of their pieces in a variety of different sizes. I want to say this was one of the medium sizes that was offered. Treasure Studios Art is also unique in a couple of other ways. One of those ways is that their round drills are actually smaller than your sort of standard size round drills with most other companies. So for most other companies, their round drills are 2.8 millimeters and their squares are 2.5. At Treasure Studios Art, their rounds are the same size as their squares. They're also 2.5. So I was really excited to get to try this out in hopes that using these drills would give the level of detail you usually only get with squares, but that amazing sparkle that comes with round drills. And I think for the most part, we got that with this. So one other way that Treasure Studios Art is unique, and I was trying something new with them, is that their adhesive on their canvas is not poured glue or double-sided adhesive. It is what's called a mounted film adhesive. It's quite strong, and I actually enjoyed working with it. I haven't had any issues with drills falling off of the canvas, and it even survived a small splash of water because I'm a klutz. But there was no harm done whatsoever, so the adhesive was great to work with as well. So as I mentioned, Treasure Studios Art does legally license all of their artwork, which is a huge plus in my book. And as I mentioned, I really did enjoy working with these smaller round drills. And if I shift it, look at that sparkle. Like, you cannot beat the sparkle you get with round drills. Just like her hair and the sky. I love the sparkle so much. Love it, love it, love it. I also loved, there were a lot of areas in this that I thought the rendering was stunning. In particular, I really enjoyed the way that they rendered the moon, and even her crown. This was quite confetti heavy, and at first I honestly forgot that there was a crown there. I'm like, what is happening? Is this her hair? And then after I stepped back and looked at it, I was like, oh yes, those are the jewels in her crown and the moon on her brow. And then when I started this piece, I started from the bottom, and after I got the first row done, I was like, dang, who knew that a robe could be rendered so beautifully? And I really enjoyed that about this piece. And I really also loved how a lot of the colors were quite vibrant. If you happen to watch my unboxing for this video, which I'll link below for reference, I was quite concerned when I first looked at the canvas because the colors on the canvas itself, under the drills, were quite dark, very dark and very off. So I was nervous because this is a really vibrant piece of art. I will try to go ahead and insert a picture here of the original artwork for reference, and you'll see what I mean. So I also really appreciated that I had plenty of drills left over in just about every color. I really appreciate that they give me plenty of extra, and I'll get into some specifics of why that is here in just a minute. So the other thing that I definitely have to mention is that Treasure Studios Art's customer service has been nothing short of fantastic. Whenever I reached out to them with concerns or thoughts or feedback or questions or just anything, checking in on, getting a tracking number or something like that, they always have responded very quickly. They've been very eager to help if I've had an issue and very polite and quick to answer any of my questions. And I very, very, very much appreciate that. So if you already saw me share about this over on Instagram, you know that I wrote kind of a novel over there, sort of a review of what my experience with this canvas is like. And so I'm going to get into some of the hiccups that I ran into. However, I do want to state up front, and I'll mention this again at the end because I want to make sure that you hear me when I say this. I'm going to share what probably sounds like a lot in terms of some of the challenges that I had with this canvas, but I want to say that I am extremely happy and very satisfied with how promptly Rachel, the owner over at TSA, how promptly and sincerely she responded to my concerns, and she was very receptive, and she's going to be taking all of that into account, and she was very appreciative. So I have every intention of purchasing another kit from TSA, in large part because of that experience, because it makes a huge difference to me if a company is receptive to feedback when there are, actual, genuine concerns and challenges. If they're receptive to that and they want to improve that, you have me on board to try again, and I will absolutely recommend your company. So I just wanted to be totally clear about that up front, because I try to stay as unbiased and neutral as possible, and be kind, but also still share what my genuine, authentic experience was and things that I would want to know if I were in the shoes of someone trying to get a little bit more information about what to expect from a kit. So with that set up, I did, like I said, I had some challenges with this kit. In particular, the drill quality gave me quite a bit of a challenge. I'm going to insert some pictures here of a few different colors of drills that I had notable issues with. If you take a look at these pictures, you'll see that there are a ton of stuck together drills. There are several drills that have holes in the top and or extra resin pooled at the bottom. Thankfully, like I said, they gave me enough extra drills that I was still able to complete the project. I did have to spend some time using my drill grinder to break the drills apart so that I would have enough to work on this project, and it made multi-placing kind of a nightmare. So just having to pick through, it was every single color except 2 or 3. And then whenever I'd get to those 2 or 3 colors, I'd be like, yes, this is going to be easy. And in case you were wondering, I know it was not static because I had to put a bit of dryer sheet in every single one of those containers. That can be weather related. Static is not a con to me, at least. So the drill quality was quite poor. There was even a color that the shades were uneven and the drills almost looked dirty. So I appreciated that when I mentioned that to Rachel, she said that that was a known issue with their drill supplier. It had to do with how quickly they were trying to push drills out because there was such high demand, and they compensated for it by giving a lot of extra drills. The company did, but she's going to emphasize to them again, based on my feedback and some other feedback she's gotten, she's going to emphasize again to them that they really need to address these problems because it was significant. So again, I appreciated that she heard me and she is going to be addressing it. So I will be very curious to, see, and I really hope that we see those improvements sooner rather than later. I know sometimes it takes time, with getting product in and whatnot. So The other thing that I was a little iffy on, well, the other thing I was just kind of disappointed on with this canvas. I'm going to pop in the image of the original artwork here again and take a look in particular at Diana's, this subject's name. Look at her hair. Look at how light blue and vibrant it is. And even look just at the rest of this piece in the original artwork. And what you're seeing on camera is pretty true to color as far as how this turned out. I'm disappointed that the overall finished effect of this piece is so much darker than the original artwork. I think that it is still true to the original artwork and sort of the impression that it gives and some of the colors and whatnot, but even things just like the effect of her hair in particular, because this blue is like a third of the canvas, and it just, even her, like the details on her face and everything, it just feels kind of muddy and dark to me. And again, this was something that I mentioned when I contacted Rachel just with some feedback. And, she mentioned that at TSA they do a combination of computer and hand charting, and that that isn't always perfect. And so she heard what I was saying and agreed. So I appreciated that. I would love to try other artwork from this artist, but it all is very similar in terms of the really bright and vibrant effect. And I don't know. When I picked up this piece, I thought, I don't know how much this is going to lend itself to a diamond painting. I don't know if these colors and this style lends itself to being turned into a diamond painting, if it's going to translate. So I'm still like really happy with a lot of it, but there are other parts of it that I'm like, oh, I just wish this would have been lighter. And I know those colors exist in DMC because I've had them in previous kits that I've worked on, like Dawn from Geneva Bowers and Distracted by Diamonds. So anyway, that was kind of a bummer for me after pulling all of this together. There were also a couple of spots with some kind of odd rendering choices. Like there's a couple of dark blue specks up here that, again, if you look at the original artwork, you can see where that comes from. But with sort of going through and them touching up the computer charting with some hand charting, I think that they could have just smoothed that out. Same like if you look at our unicorn's horn here. Sorry, it's wanting to fold there for some reason. There we go. You can see that the spirals aren't complete. They're a little bit jagged. And there were a couple of odd rendering things, like down here at the bottom. These are supposed to be like twigs and tree branches, and there's awkward gaps, and same thing kind of with this curl of mane. These are just really little details, but enough that I mentioned it to her because I thought I feel like it would be such an easy fix. It's just one of those things that I don't know if it didn't translate like when I picked this particular size. And the other, like I said, I still felt like it was worth mentioning. The one really egregious spot that at a distance doesn't look so bad, but this bright orange, this neon orange in her face, there's a little bit in the unicorn horn too, but it's not as jarring, but in her face. So when you pull back, it's not as startling to see, but I'm guessing if you hadn't noticed it already, that now probably all you see is just that streak of orange. Again, if you look at the original artwork, you can see where there's a tint of orange light coming from over here, but I don't, even at a distance, I don't think this was the right color choice, and it, right on like the face and the focal point of the painting, it was just a little much. So I mentioned it to her, and again, I appreciated that she heard me, and she was certainly going to be taking my feedback into consideration. So I know that was kind of a lot as far as some of the challenges and things I wasn't as crazy about with the canvas, but I just want to reiterate again that this is a company that I am planning to purchase from, again, because I want to see if they're, what their other artists maybe look like, kits from other artists look like, and if they will be taking into consideration feedback they've gotten, because I do know that I am not the only one that has shared similar thoughts with them before, and they seem to be hearing us. So yeah, I'm optimistic. Just one other thing I did want to mention. This was not a huge ding for me, but I still want to mention it. The canvas itself, let me see if it will show. There was quite a bit of fraying like this all around the corners, and you can see that there are some wrinkles that didn't really want to come out. You can certainly see them on the back if you flip it over. However, it seems like whichever areas have drills on them, it is laying flat, and the fraying on the edges has not gotten worse than what I showed you. It just goes all around, and it just is one of those things that it's like, they could just serge it or something like that. That might help it also feel like maybe a little bit higher quality canvas. But again, that was not a deal breaker for me. It was just something that I noticed, and I wanted to point out to you guys as well. So I think that's it. I would love to hear your thoughts on this canvas. I'm going to stick in a picture of the original artwork here one more time so that you can take a look and just kind of do a comparison. Tell me what your thoughts are. Or here, you know what? I can move it over and even do a little side by side here. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are as far as what you think about the rendering and what you think about the painting itself just as it is. And if you have had similar or different experiences with Treasure Studios art, I'd also love to hear about that in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you hear my heart and where I'm coming from when I share my thoughts and my feedback on this canvas. Again, I am so happy with Rachel and the TSA customer service and how responsive they've been. I feel like I can't emphasize that enough. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. If this was helpful for you, please hit the thumbs up before you click away. That's always really helpful for me. And if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to subscribe, I would love to have you. So hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I share new videos, which is not on a schedule right now because I have 2 little ones running around, but I do try to stay up to date with you guys pretty regularly. So thank you again, everyone, for being here and for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, friends.